Hey guys, welcome back to the Barndominium, and today we're going to talk about a king-size bed frame. What we were just looking at though is the saw horses that we had mostly assembled yesterday in our video. I think we posted it this morning based upon when you'll get this video. So those are the saw horses. I actually had to build them to do this project, and you'll see why. It's mostly because of the jigsawing. So what I needed was a king-size platform bed frame. If you've ever had a king-size bed, you know that the frames are very expensive. There's not a lot of them, and if you can find them, they're kind of limited. So what we needed is some drawers and a little extra usability. It'll get added onto, but we did a faux live edge in some torching. The faux live edge, you can actually see how I did that as far as using a jigsaw and a scroll blade. Back we did a faux live edge series, and there's like 3 videos, but you actually get to see me cutting it. We'll see the torching today that I did in that video, but let's go take a look at the bed. So here we go. It is a little bit longer than a king bed frame, like I said. We're going to put some storage or something down here. Let's get up under it and see how it was constructed. So it's very easy. It's 3 joists. It's 2 2x6s and a 2x10. Just running across. The 2x6s are attached to 4x6s, as you can see. Those are structural screws. Everything else is mostly random screws, but it's a lot of heavy lumber, but not a lot of seriousness on the projects. And you can see I've cut 2 openings here, and what those are, well, what they will be is kind of like drawers. I did do a intricate cut with them, but I'm going to put casters or rollers on the base of the drawer platform, in that platform, and just let it pull in and out of there. So it won't actually be a drawer. I don't like doing drawers. The hardware is very annoying to me because they don't measure a lot. Up here you can see this is that jigsawed edge. I've already torched both sides, so the black and I guess yellow detailing you can see is from going over it with this propane torch. It's not really a great faux live edge. I find that if you tried to mimic a real live edge, it looks terrible, and nobody likes that. So as you can see, as you go, you get a lot of just really crazy patterns. So here's this side partially torched in the drawer. So let's pause for a second and let me get set up and let's do some of that torching. Okay, so we're just using this little simple torch. It's got its own lighter here, and we're going to work down here on some of these. What I find what was hard in the beginning is dealing with these knots here. So these knots have a lot of oil in them, and so they'll kind of flame up as you're trying to get the you see that flame there? They'll try to flame up as you're trying to get texture, or torching, as you're trying to blacken them. So I like to address them first and go ahead and let that sap come out of there and get burned, because it's going to prematurely burn your edges. And so if you approach it and then try to torch it, I find that you overburn the edges. So if you just kind of go ahead and heat it up, let that stuff get out of there, and then come and attack those edges like that, I find you get a much crisper line than going the other way around. And that's it. You just kind of follow it along, and you're just tracing the rings, basically. So there's a section of heavy sap that doesn't burn very well, and then there's a section of soft wood that you interact with, and that soft wood burns really fast. The area with the sap is almost unchanged at all. You can hear it closer. And you just kind of follow these lines down like that. And you can see the same thing up here. Just right there. So this whole bed will get torched in that manner. And I'll show you an example here. These are our shelves. And this is, if you go back, this is what you'll see in my older live edge. See, I bought these with specific knots in them because they're not structural. And then I chose to do my branch or whatever portions there. So that's it, guys. This is a really cheap bed. The technology or the technique that you use is very, very simple. I think you can get the torch set up for maybe $10. That's probably going to be cheaper than or as expensive as stain. And there's no off-gassing, no VOCs necessarily associated with the propane. I'm sure the pine tar has off-gassing naturally because you're heating it up. So whatever. Much better option. I am probably going to polyurethane or shellac this. Shellac is the much more natural choice. But, you know, this is about a $150 project. If you are looking for something similar, you can apply this live edge jigsaw technique to anything. I mean, it really, really comes out good. And you're talking about the cheapest lumber turning into something that you just can't find on the market. So I hope you'll like this, guys. I hope you put this in your cob house. Like and subscribe. Please follow us on Facebook and Permies.com. Facebook is Juan Blanco. Permies.com is Johnny Cobbins. So thanks a lot. Have a good day, guys.